let's lengthen the right side of the body only. And let's lengthen the left side. Let's bring the right knee back into the chest. You can leave the left leg to the floor. Just roll the ankle in both directions. And then just bring that left knee in. Extend the right leg. Remember, if you need to use a block or a pillow for your head, by all means do. And then just bring both knees in and hug. Take the knees wide. Bring those knees back in together. And then just place the feet flat to the floor, knees bent. And think about your pelvic peel. So just the lower spine, just tilt under and then release it down. Now this is where you might want to tuck up, so you imagine you're lifting internally, and then when you lower, let your tailbone press into the floor. So I've actually got a gap, so I tilt here, and then I release as I come back. Just do it a couple more times, so just tilt as you lift, and then just release as we go back down. Then come back, full body stretch. So lengthen, arms come over your head, big stretch. Let's go right side again, so lengthen just the right side, and lengthen just the left. Bring that right knee up into the chest and hug. So let your head, neck, shoulders stay relaxed. Just roll your ankle both directions. But this time, let's take the knee across your body, all the way. We draw it back. We bring the left knee up to the chest, lengthen the right leg. Remember to roll the ankle. And then we can take the knee across the body, all the way. That's it. We're then going to bring both knees up into the chest. And then we're going to do a little pattern. So hands are going to come by your sides, and we're just going to let the knees rock from one side all the way over to the other. So we rock. Now, if it's uncomfortable to do the full range of movement, just listen to your body. But you're looking to just take those knees over to one side and then back to the other. So let's go one more, either side. So feet come flat, and then we're just going to take your right knee and just drop it to the floor. Keep your left knee up to the ceiling. And just do a little check-in with your breathing. Just make sure your head, your neck, your shoulders is relaxed. We close the right knee and we let the left knee drop to the side. We just hold it there. And then the option for soles of your feet to kiss and let both knees open. And while you're in this position, you can really think about your head, your neck, your shoulders. Just retracting the shoulders, lengthening the neck. Just take a few deep controlled breaths. And then come into a stretch of choice before we all regroup on all fours. So a little stretch of choice. You can use your block. You can even use a big core ball if you want to. We're going to sit back into shell pose. So just sit back onto your heels and slide your arms forward. Now, for those of you that's got a big core ball, you might just want to wrap your arms over the core ball and hold that. You could even rest your arms over the sofa. If you have a block like me, you can just pop the hands on top, or you can even lay it lower down. And you're really just stretching, releasing. Come onto all fours. Lift through the spine. Release it down. So we lift through the spine. Release it down. Let's go one more. Come up. And then this time when we sit back onto the heels, if you want to take your knees really wide, if you want to stay, if you've got that core ball and hug, you're welcome. But you're just literally looking at those knees becoming wider, just to get a deeper stretch through the hips. But if you feel that it's too uncomfortable to have your arms long, you can just bring shorter levers and just literally lie, breathe, and settle into the stretch. Now we come back up onto all fours. Think about the cat stretch, but for some of yous, you may want to shift your weight forward and back. So just choose what's good for you. So you've got the cat stretch here, or shift back, shift forward. Okay? Now if you've got your lower back's feeling a little bit uncomfortable, it's not going to want a big range of movement and you thrusting those hips here. Yeah? So just do what's comfortable. And all you're wanting to do is release your lower back and get some movement through your hips. Super. Stretch back, stretch forward. Just get into a rhythm that's the right tempo for you. So some of us, it will be just to stay and hold the stretch. Others, the more they move, the more they mobilize the joints, and then the bigger the range of movement, or it becomes a little bit more with ease. So just listen and do what's comfortable for your body. So we regroup back up on all fours. And it's going to be the right foot, so we're just going to go with some gentle stretches. I don't know if you just heard my toe joints pop then. Some gentle stretches working our way up the leg. So right foot will go back and you just tuck onto the toes. And you just press that heel away. So it's just a calf stretch. Just press in. Just really think about your breathing. Hold it there. Now you may need to watch me. I'm going to go into pigeon stretch, but differently. So I've got my right foot back. I'm now going to cross my right foot behind my left and then slide back into pigeon. That's it. just a different way of going into pigeon stretch. So it's your left knee forward. You've gone from that calf stretch, behind and slide back. And you can stay upright or you can lean forward. Now obviously you don't have to do the pigeon, you can stay in calf stretch. Up onto all fours. Just take your left foot back for the calf stretch. So just literally think, press your heel away. That's it. Hold, hold, hold. And then take it across and slide backwards. So into pigeon, but just a different way. So you may choose to do a long calf stretch, or you can just go into that second stretch. Back onto all fours. Knees come wide. We sit back into shell, bring that chest to the floor, or just hug the core ball. Up onto all fours. And then what we're simply going to do, hand wide, turn the knee and just shift your hip over and back. Just shift your hip over and back. So if I just move that arm, you're just shifting the hip. So try and keep the shoulders the same, but just let your hip poke out to the side. The hip. Now, I want your arm wide for balance, but I just wanted to demo how the hip just pops, but your shoulders are not moving. So you just pop the hip and back. Now you can push the hip out and then you can sit back at a slight angle. So options. Take your time when you're sitting down, because one, knees, and two, that does get into places that you don't know exist. So just take your time as you press the weight back. Oh, yummy, yummy. One more. And then just switch that. So it's the opposite arm coming out. Turn the knee, place the foot on the calf. Just let the hip pop. So this hip does not pop nowhere near the other side. So you're just, again, just asking yourself, how does it feel for you? Does the hip want to move? Does your whole body have to move? So you're just literally lifting that hip with the option of sitting down an angle. And just come back to the center each time. So it's a lovely stretch, but it does go really deep. So just check that you can control your breathing. Avoid that temptation to hold your breath. One more. Okay. So we're going to come down laying on our front. And we're now going to do the Superman set, and this is purely for pelvic floor focus. So I want you to think of it for being deeper as opposed to big range of movement. So first position, just a simply glute brace, so squeeze your bottom, pull your belly button off the mat, but lift up your internal muscles at the same time. and breathe. So just literally think, can you squeeze and feel something going on in your bum cheeks? Same time you can feel your belly button lift. So, you know, if you want to just let the muscles go and then pull them in, you will feel it's like a little tummy crunch. Yeah, so you just sort of crunch and lift the belly button up towards the spine. So just lifting and releasing. Yeah, so I'm really exaggerating this, and I can see my bum moving on the screen, and that's me just pulling my belly button towards my spine. That's a crunch. Yeah, that's you working your core whilst laying on the floor. It rhymes, check me. Okay. So you can pull the belly button, squeeze the bottom, lift internally, really get those core muscles working. And let's just fire up those first. So feel those muscles working. And I want you to think those throughout. Every time we lift a limb or move the legs, move the arms, think, can I pull my belly button into my spine, squeeze my glutes, lift up internally. Yeah, let's go one more. And then we do exactly the same, but this time let's focus on the legs. So I want you to squeeze the belly button in, fire those glutes, pull up and lift the right leg at the same time. And then just release, switch to the other side. So we pull up, we fire bum cheeks, lift internally, let the left leg raise, super, and release. Let's see if we can hold for the count of 8. So fire everything up, lift the right leg, hold it there, control your breathing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, release. So I'm simply, feel your bum cheeks go, pull your belly button into the spine, imagine you're lifting your internal organs so they're not going to fall out, and then lift a leg at the same time. So the actual movement looks small, but it's deep. If I don't fire anything, I'm just simply lifting a leg off the floor. Yeah, I'm obviously showing it in very bad style here, but it just becomes a bit of a leg flip. If I squeeze my belly button up, bum, internal, I really can feel that, and I'm not moving anything. Arms out, lift the right arm, lift the left leg. Hold everything firm. Release. Let's go on the other side. So pull your belly button in, squeeze your bum, lift internally, lift the left arm, right leg. Now you might not be able to hold it for the full 8 count. That's fine. Release it. Let's have a go at double limbs. Only if it's comfortable. So you pull your belly button in, squeeze your bum. Imagine you're lifting up internally, and you just imagine for some crazy reason we've just jumped out of a plane and we're skydiving. What about legs and arms going out to the sides? Hold, hold, hold. Hold, hold, hold. And release. All right. Those of you with any lower back conditions, you can rock your hips side to side. You can come up into shell pose. It's first recovery out of that position. So just respond to your body. If you want to grab a drink, obviously options there. And then what we'll do is we'll come up onto all fours, and I'm going to challenge pelvic floor by taking one leg out to the side. So remember, as soon as you open the legs and inner thighs become on stretch, your pelvic floor is working harder. That's why obviously that plie squats some women find difficult. All right. Okay. Good. I will do an advanced add-on, and it will be optional. All right. Just a pre-warning. So, on all fours. If you want to come onto forearms, you are welcome. Slide your right leg back. This is exactly the same as we're laying on the floor. So if you want to just come back down and do the deeper work, options there. And from here, we're just going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Key thing is I want you, if you could probably pop your left hand on your tummy muscles and you should feel the tummy not particularly moving. Whereas what happens is if I let go, I will feel my tummy press into my hand as my back's lifting and I'm arching. If I draw in my core and I lift, not much is happening here. So I can just literally keep the core level. Watch the rotation through your hips as well. So you want to keep the hips facing down. We do tend to do a little bit of this when we are lifting. Now, option to stay singles or lift up, then take your knee out to the side, back in position and down. So you lift, turn the knee up at an angle, straighten. I'll come straight view so you will be able to see a little bit easier. So you extend it back and lift, then let the knee come out to the side and then throw it back and down. So we lift out to the side, back and down. Stay with level 1 or 2, or we're going to extend the leg. My hand's going to come in the middle because I'm turning everything. Hand, lift. So we're starting to work obliques, but it's pelvic floor because obviously legs are open. Sandra's left us, but Monty's joined us. Monty's like, I need some pelvic floor here. I'm coming in. One more. And then stretch of choice. Release, release. Good. That feel nice? Yeah? All right. Well done. Just stretch, release off. So all we've done is we've built up from that base move of lying down. So when you lie down, you can go deep and lift. Soon as you add movement, that becomes vulnerable. That's where we may tend to leak if we have got a weakness there. But you don't just go for the full Monty. We're using Monty, full Monty. We're building it up. So you just choose what feels right. All right, other side. So we're on all fours. Just let the leg go back. So all we're looking to start with is we're lifting and lowering. So again, you could place the opposite hand on your tummy. One, it'll make you balance, but two, it just makes you aware that you are engaging and not just letting your tummy muscles go. The other option is where we can use that block on the back and just make sure we're nice and level. There. Remember your forearms as an option, or you could always go back to lying on your front. Those coming with me, you can lift the leg, but then bring the knee out to the side. I was about to just moan then. Oh, hand back down. So we lift up, but then turn through the hip, bring the knee out at an angle, and then back down. So we just lift, we come out, side, and back down. Just a couple more, out to the side. So remember, you can go level 1, level 2, you can go back to lying on your front, or if you're coming with me, just let the hand that's balancing in the middle of your mat turn up, draw the knee to the elbow. That's it. Just a couple more. One more. And stretch of choice. Release, release, relax. Grab a drink. I promised a gentle one today. That went out the window with those little reps at the end. Okay, have a drink and then just come seated. just a little seated leg release, and then we'll come down for finish the pelvic floor focus and then stretch. So legs crossed if it's comfortable to sit with legs crossed. Come up tall through the spine. Remember, you can sit on a block just to elevate slightly. So we want you to lean forward as far as you can go. Just going to hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Now take your legs wide. Turn to one toes. Lean yourself in and hold for 8, 7. Just be aware of your breathing for 4, 3. We come up, we walk to the other side. From your hips, lean in and hold. Lovely. For 8, 7, for 4, 3, 2. Come back, center, lean in. Remember, if you've got a block or that core ball, you could again just hug over there. Sit with those legs crossed. Come up tall. I'm just going to repeat this, but I'm going to show you a variation for those that know that they are particularly tight through the back of their thighs and it really pulls on their behind the knee. Just lengthen through the spine. Come over and hold. Now, if you are sitting on a block, it does make this exercise easier, this stretch easier. But obviously you can just leave one leg out of the equation if it is the hip joint that is restricting the movement. Now, when you come up, take your legs wide. This is an option. You could either use a bendable or rolled up towel, and the leg that you're stretching, pop it under the knee, because it will just take the stretch off. Then you can turn, and then can you see the difference? So this is, now obviously I am fairly flexible. This is me without the ball. With the ball, I'm right over. Yeah. So it's just because we are very tight usually on where that muscle inserts behind your knee. So if you are looking to build your back of your thigh flexibility, just by rolled up towel or bendable will really allow you to go so much deeper into the stretch. Have a little go on the other side. So with all stretching, it's just about avoiding the temptation to try and force it. If you can support the muscles, they will naturally allow you to go deeper. Some of you could possibly use the dog. Just pop the dog under the leg. Okay, release it there. Now lay on your back and come into a stretch of choice, and then we will be some bendable pelvic floor. But obviously if you don't have a bendable, grab a pillow, or we can obviously just do it focused, or Pilates ring. Yeah, Pilates ring is a little bit tougher, but still will work those thighs. That's it. All right. So when we done Superman laying on our front, it wasn't about the range of movement, it was about the depth of the movement. So this is what we want to be focusing on now. So you take your bendable, your Pilates ring or your cushion and between your thighs. Now I find the lower down I place it, the more I can really focus on hitting pelvic floor. But you can start off it by the knees and work your way down. If you've got a Pilates ring and obviously your shorter leg length, you're going to have your legs right out here. So obviously you might need to put it a little bit higher. Just to activate and get familiar with the move, just simply squeeze and then release. So you're simply just squeezing and releasing. So think fire through those inner thighs. And Poppy's like, that's enough now, let me play. Squeeze in. Now think squeeze and lift internally. You might find your bottom just sort of skim the mat, but it's a small movement, but it's deep. So I want you to squeeze, lift up internally, and imagine like you're lifting up to like your belly button, and then release it. So you're going to squeeze and then lift internally and release it. So you're going to really squeeze, lift internally. Now don't worry if you think, oh my God, I don't know if anything's happening. Just go with the movements. If you can feel your thighs going, great. We will start to attach. And then I'm just going to give you some thoughts, some sayings, and see what happens in the different areas. So first of all, I just want you to squeeze it hard, lift internally, and imagine that you need to pass wind and it's not the right time. I want you just to imagine, so you're closing off that back passage, holding in, and just obviously release whenever you need to. And the idea is to try and breathe at the same time as you're holding in wind. So you're squeezing and you're lifting. And what happens is, I don't know about you, but you go to just squeeze your bum cheeks. The idea is you squeeze and lift and just hold with the bum still being fairly relaxed. Okay? So you're looking to let the bum muscles switch off, but you're just thinking of back passage and closing. And then as we come round, so imagine like the zip and you're tightening up, you're now just thinking of just obviously what we associate like vagina muscles. You want to lift up internally. Now you may just find that you find the back passage close as well. So you are just squeezing and lifting. For those of us that have had children, what they say about, make sure you do your pelvic floors. Lift, lift, lift. And you're just squeezing and lifting. But a good way to get vagina and bladder, just think about the analogy of what I say to men about putting glasses, so testicles to spectacles. So you're lifting the front up. That really worked for me. So if I imagine I'm lifting, if I had a pair of testicles to spectacles, I do know in the cancer rehab team, they say nuts to guts to some of the men. But it's just that notion of lifting the whole internal organs. Just think of that sling. Now we all know coughing and sneezing can be an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count you down, and I want you to really snatch hard and fast. Ready, set, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release there. So just pop the bendable Pilates ring pillow to the side. Just come into a stretch of choice. Now you might find that you just need to let those knees drop to the side and stretch the inner thighs. You might just want to do one knee drop. You may just prefer to come into a full body or to curl up into a ball. If you have got lower back issues, feel free to just sort of bring your knees over to one side and take the stretch there before you roll over to the other side. Now I'm going to go for a quick stretch of the legs, but I'm going to keep your upper body still. So for those of you with any tightness in the upper body, if you did want to pop a tennis ball on those problematic areas, the option is there. But we are simply going to bring that right knee up into the chest and extend the left leg. You're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling, but here's the option of bending the left knee if you want to. We're going to hug the right knee back into the chest. Now you may want to extend the left leg again. It's entirely up to you. And then just bring that left knee in. So right leg extends. Left leg goes up. Remember your option to bend the knee if you wish. So if that gives you a little bit more lower back support. And then bring that knee back in and extend the leg as the option. And then here, just find a position that is comfortable for you as we go for a little bit of relaxation. So you can stay lying, you can come seated. You can pop the core ball under your legs. You even jump up onto the sofa. But just find a position that allows your body to relax. And just to close your eyes. And spend a few minutes focusing on your breathing. Just slowly breathing in. And slowly breathing out. As you breathe in, just feel the rib cage expand. And as you breathe out, just allow the body to really soften and relax back. Now I invite you to tightly close the eyes. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, the eyes soften, the head, the neck, the shoulders relax back. Now draw the shoulders back to the mat, open the chest. Imagine that neck lengthening. Take a deep breath and just feel the chest, feel the ribs expand. And as you exhale, allow the body to relax some more. Now focus your attention down to the hands and just tightly make two fists. We take a deep breath. We exhale. The hands, the fingers soften.